Using strategy pattern, you can alter behavior of a class at runtime. This is especially useful when working with functions that all return the same type of data, but each of them calculates it in a different way. You can then create multiple strategies out of them and switch them as you want. Let's imagine that you have a boss in your game, so I have this weird circle thing floating in space, and I wanted to add an ability that will be just shooting some missiles out of it. And so that it is not too boring, I wanted to add different patterns for shooting of the missiles. So this is what we'll make using the strategy pattern, that will have different strategies that will be shooting the missiles in a different way. So let me show you. I have the first shooting strategy, which is the circle, then we have the random, which is just going to shoot the missiles all over the place, and I also have a square, which will just make a kind of square pattern out of the missiles. To understand the strategy pattern, let's take a look at the diagram. The first element, which will surprise you, is the strategy. This is going to be a common interface for all of these strategies. So in our case, it will be some eye shooting strategy. Another example of this could be some kind of eye movement strategy, let's say for the player, that you could have different movement types. You may have swimming, walking, flying, and so on. The second element are concrete strategies, which will be classes implementing the strategy interface. So in our case, we'll have circle shooting strategy, then some random shooting strategy, and so on. The third element is a context, which will be just storing a reference to some strategy, so to the interface, and it will be communicating with it. In our case, we'll have the script shooting ability, where we are just going to set some strategy. Based on that strategy, we are going to get a list of all of the missile positions and the directions, we are going to instantiate the missiles, and so on. But the context on its own should not decide what the strategy is going to be. This should be provided by the client, which is going to decide which strategy to use. It will create the strategy object and finally pass it to the context, which will then further use it. In our case, the client can be boss AI, which will be just deciding through some more advanced logic which one of these strategies we should use. If you are interested in more content from me, then check out my Patreon, where I'm releasing some extra more advanced tutorials. There, recently I posted a video where I'm talking about how I manage animations for my own game. I've also posted more advanced guide about extendject and some of the other patterns such as the comment pattern, dependency injection, and so on, so feel free to check it out. And now, let's get to the coding, so I will start by creating the shooting strategy interface. Here we have the interface, and to simplify the example, I have added just one function which will debug as the strategy type, and later we are going to add the actual implementation to get all the positions and the directions of the projectiles. As we are done with the strategy, we can add some concrete strategies. I've created those 3 scripts for the 3 strategies, so we have the square shooting strategy, the circle and the random shooting strategy. All of these 3 strategies are now correctly implementing the eye shooting strategy, so they have the function as well, and these strategies can be mono behaviors, but I don't really need them to be mono behaviors, because I will just be creating instance of the class, so I'm going to delete the mono behavior from all of them, just like so. And now for each of these strategy, we can provide a different implementation for the debug strategy type. In my case, to simplify things, I will just send some message to the console. Just like so, I have just some simple debug logs for all of these strategies. So now we are done with the strategy, which is the interface. We are done with the concrete strategies, that at any point you can add more of them if you want. So let's get to the third part, which will be the client, which will be deciding which strategy to use. In our case, this can be some boss AI. The way that the boss AI is going to choose which strategy to use is not really sophisticated. For now, we are just going to set it in the inspector. So I have a serialized field for the shooting strategy, and this is not the interface eye shooting strategy, but this is an enum I have, where I have all of these types of these strategies, so we can simply choose them in the inspector. And the way that I will be deciding when we should create new strategy object, so either create new circle shooting strategy, square shooting strategy, and so on, is that I will only create the object once the strategy in the inspector changes, because really there is no reason to be creating the object all over again on update. For that reason, I have another variable storing the last shooting strategy, so then we can check if the shooting strategy in the inspector has changed or not. This is happening in update. I'm just checking if the shooting strategy is not equal to the last shooting strategy, which means that the shooting strategy in the inspector changed. If it did, then we can just set the last shooting strategy and then we can just update it, which, as I said, is going to create the new strategy object, and we should call that function on start as well. Let's now take a look at the update shooting strategy function. So based on the shooting strategy, we are deciding which one of these we should instantiate. You may already see that this part is a bit ugly, so it would definitely be better to use the factory method pattern for it. In this case, I don't want to complicate things, so we have just a simple switch statement. If it is the circle, I'm creating the circle shooting strategy, storing it in the strategy, and the same way for all of the other strategy types. So as I said, the boss AI is the client, which is creating the strategy. It is deciding which one we want to use, and as soon as it has the AI shooting strategy, it is going to pass it into the context, which then is going to do something with it. Let's now get to the fourth and the last element, which is the context. So this will be some kind of shooting ability, where, as I said, we are just going to instantiate the projectiles and so on. So what I have in the shooting ability script is that we are just storing the shooting strategy, which later we are going to provide from the boss AI. In the start, I'm just running a simple loop, waiting for 3 seconds, and then shooting, which should tell us the strategy type. And so that we can provide the shooting strategy to this script, back in the boss AI script, we need to have a reference to the shooting ability. And as soon as we get the strategy, which is when we should update it, we'll also pass that to the shooting ability. So shooting ability dot shooting strategy is equal to the strategy that we select here. And that should be it for this simple example. So let's take a look at how it works. Don't forget to assign the shooting ability and the boss AI script and fill in all of the dependencies. As we play the game, we'll need to wait for 3 seconds. Yep, now we can see that we are using the circle shooting strategy. As we choose the random, yep, it is telling that we are using the random, and the square, yep, this works as well. What we have done so far is really nothing fancy, it is just displaying a different message with different shooting strategies selected. But later, as you have really a ton of code for each of these strategies, it is really good idea to separate them in different scripts. And as you can see, it is really simple to add more strategies. So you can just create the script and in the boss AI, just select it when you want to. And because each of these strategies is in its own script, we could also reuse these strategies in really any other place. So maybe instead of calling it shooting strategy, you could call it spawning strategy and use it for spawning enemies and all kinds of objects. Let's now take a look at the actual implementation of spawning the missiles. So first, we'll definitely need to change the shooting strategy, because that one shouldn't be just a void, but it should return us some data based off which we can then instantiate all of the missiles, set their directions, and so on. For this, I've made a simple class projectile data, which is storing all of the data we need for each of the projectiles, and then inside of the interface we have a function that is going to return us list of the projectile datas, and this one takes in few parameters for the total amount of the projectiles, for the center point around which the projectiles should spawn, the minimum distance from the center, and the total time in which we want to shoot all of the projectiles. As we have changed the interface, we'll need to change all of the strategies that are implementing it. So let's start with the circle shooting strategy. I've added the function getProjectileDatas, which is taking in the same parameters. And the logic that we have here is going to vary between all of the concrete strategies. So this is really specific code to the circle shooting strategy. So I'm just calculating some angle, then going through the amount of the projectiles you want to spawn, calculating the X and Y position, creating the projectile data, setting the position, getting the direction as well, getting the angle direction, so the direction in the angle. So then we can also set the rotation, just setting the delay, and finally adding each of the projectiles into the projectile data list, so then we can just return it. For the square shooting strategy, we have totally different logic, because the way that the projectile data are generated is different. We want a square, not a circle, but still we are returning a list of the projectile data. In the same way for the random shooting strategy, we have some different logic. As we have all of these strategies implemented, so we have a way to get the projectile data from each of these strategies, we actually want to do something with the data, so we'll be instantiating the missiles. This will be happening in the context, which is storing a reference to these strategies and doing something with them. In our case, this is the shooting ability. I've added a few more parameters which are required when we want to spawn the missiles. So we have the projectile speed, the prefab, amount of the projectiles, the total shoot time, the start distance, the start point. The start function has remained the same and the shoot function has changed, where now we are getting a list of the projectile datas. This one we are getting from the shooting strategy, so we don't really care which shooting strategy we are currently using. We can really get the projectile datas from any of these strategies. And then, as we have the projectile datas, we can just go through all of them, create the projectile, so instantiate the object, set the velocity of the rigid body, destroy the missile after some time. Again, we have some more delay, and then we are just checking if the application is not playing, which could happen that when you just stop the game and still this loop is running, it could break some things. So now we should have working implementation of all of these strategies and of spawning the missiles, so let's see how it works in Unity. Here we don't need to change much, again just assign all of the parameters in the inspector. Now we are using the circle strategy, which we can see is working. It is spawning the missiles in a circle. We can also try to adjust, let's say, the shoot time, so it takes a bit more time to shoot all the missiles. Yep, this is working as well. We can also adjust the distance if we want, and all of that fun stuff. And even at runtime, we can switch the strategy. So let's choose the random, maybe add more missiles. Yep, we can see this is working perfectly. And let's try the last strategy, so the square. And this one seems to be working as well. Great. Now you know that strategy pattern is very useful when you want to change behavior of a class at runtime. It is also providing useful abstraction, because now the shooting ability doesn't really care which of these strategies it is using, it just cares that it receives some projectile data. The code is also nicely separated between multiple scripts, because if you would want to do it other way, what would probably come to your mind would be to just stuff all of the code inside the shooting ability. So here you may have multiple functions for getting the projectile datas, so this script could be really long, or the worst solution probably would be to put all of the code inside the shoot function. You would have some kind of if hell, and adding new strategies for getting the projectile datas would be really hard. So this way with the strategy pattern, if you want to introduce new strategy, you just need to create the script, make it inherit from the shooting strategy, and you are done. And that's it. So feel free to take a look at my Patreon, and soon I will also start working on a Udemy course, so there I will teach you a lot more about all of these programming patterns, so you can be looking forward to it, but it's going to take me a bit more time. Anyways, I hope that this video was useful. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in next videos. Bye!